Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Livin here, and I wanted to do a video on the artillery truck and just kind of give my point of view on it in comparison to things like the heavy tank and the light tank, which I have used a lot since playing BF1. I haven't really actually used that much of the artillery truck, and I want to get more into using it mainly because of it's just taking the advantage of the speed on this truck. It's just like really could be really used like well in situations where you have larger maps such as Empire's Edge or Sinai, just to be able to move around the map better. I find myself on a lot of these maps when I'm having, like the heavy tank, to be just, trying to move up here to see would have taken me forever, but just being able to roll up here really quick, easily being able to cap C in a tank. So unless they charge up here with another, um, you know, artillery truck, they're kind of at a disadvantage because they're not going to make it here with a regular tank. And then of course if they make it here in a car, I'm going to be able to blow up that car. So it's such a advantage to use the speed on it. And so that's kind of the one variable that I was like in my mind as just been playing against a lot of people who use the artillery truck. That is a big advantage, but as well picking up on a lot of like little things that I've been noticing as well too with it while using it in this game. So I am very much still new in it. Like I'm not like close to being an expert on it. I'm just like curious about it, and in this game I kind of use it decently well. In this game just by just picking some things up from what I've learned from just I've used it a couple of times, probably more than a couple of times in the game, but nothing where I've actually started off a game and was like, okay, this is gonna be my main thing that I'm gonna use. So as you can see here, I'm obviously trying to get a little bit better of a feel of how to shoot this gun. It seems, I don't know, it seems that shooting this gun long range has this is kind of a different feel to it than shooting like I'm using the heavy tank. Like those were heavy tank shots. I feel like I would have hit that. I'm not sure if it's the recoil or what it is exactly, but it's definitely not. It feels different. Just a little bit different than shooting off the heavy tank. Again, I don't exactly know what it is, but it is it is definitely interesting to shoot with. But I have noticed that the impact shooting infantry players, just the impact of it is way better. I'm not sure if that's because of the update that came out when they patched the game up and they nerfed the heavy tanks cannon. Where if you remember when we used the heavy tanks cannon when the game first came out, that it would just these instant kills, and then they lowered that cannon, so when you would shoot the enemies, it was just a little bit weaker. Um, and I'm pretty sure that was to nerf it for the infantry. So yeah, there's be situations where you'll see infantry players running on the ground, and if you try to use the cannon of them running on the ground, it takes you like maybe 2 shots. You can shoot them like directly, like right next to them, and they won't die. But when it comes to the artillery truck, they die, and you'll see a lot of it in this game where they do that. So I'm gonna roll back over here towards F. I'm trying to take advantage of that, just being able to have the speed. I'm able to push over here as quick as I need to, and just start shooting. I don't have to waste this, time. When I'm in the heavy tank, I don't want to like push. If I see someone taking a base, even if it's one player far away, I don't push because it's for one player, and the heavy tank is a heavy tank. I can take out, I can deal with a lot of infantry attacking me and going at me. So as you can see, I'm not able to really see him, but I get a teammate on there, and so I'm gonna leave him for my teammate and just keep an eye out for if that ticks back up again. And so now I'm gonna roll up over here, try to get a better vantage point towards C, see if my teammates are maybe around C a little bit, and if my teammates can get onto C. Because if my teammates get onto C, they normally will spawn right at the bottom of this cliff here, or sometimes to the right. So if you're right up over here, you have an awesome vantage point of just easily being able to like take out the enemy team. So as you can see there, I'm able to snipe that one guy from up here. If I'm in a heavy tank trying to do that, that's just not going to happen. I'm going to take maybe 2 shots, maybe even 3 shots to take him out. just noticing that off the bat, it's kind of caught my attention because being able to finish these kills make it so much easier that, and you're not able, like, you can have such a distance on them, and then with speed as well, like, you know, I've seen people utilize it really well. So so yeah, it's something that it's definitely it's one of those things where, you know, you can basically you can use, you know, a lot of weapons, even, you know, some weapons that maybe people might not see as very popular weapons, but if you know how to utilize them well in the right position, you know, they can be just these god weapons. So yeah, I'm sticking up here. I'm just, you know, kind of sniping. I'll kind of get a better feel for just how the weapon is able to take out, is able just to take out the infantry just a lot easier than using the cannon on a heavy tank. But after a while, I don't really like trading back and forth. Like, if I get a kill on a guy, and he's able to spawn back and then start battling me, I really don't like those situations a lot. I just feel like I'm just going back and forth, and it's just not, I'm not like accomplishing anything. So I'm just gonna come up here and heal really quick, and then I'm gonna probably move on to something different. As I can see now, my teammates are finally pushing up, so that kind of gives the opportunity now to take out when they're gonna start spawning into certain angles. So like being up here, especially with this tank, I see a lot of people do that. That's kind of ideal, being up here with that tank, because you're like, what I've noticed is you're easily able to take out infantry. So as you can see, they're spawning right there. You're easily just able to take out like one shot there. It's so easy to do that, and just able to control this whole area right here. So as long as, and we have D as well too, so as long as they don't you know, creep up from some weird angle, we basically have that. So one thing I have noticed about this tank is, the thing I don't like about this tank is its ability to roll backwards. It makes it a little, it's a little bit annoying. It's just, I find myself, the ability to turn backwards makes it difficult. And then what's the downside of this over such things as like the light tank is, its ability, not, you have to like stop moving and you have to pull out your cannon if you're gonna want to shoot someone from behind you. So really coming up from behind, someone can come up from behind from you really easily. And like something that I'll do when I'm assault class is I'll drop, I know, one mine, one light grenade, and one anti-tank grenade will take out any of the light armor vehicles. So such as the artillery truck or the artillery truck or the light tank. So I'll normally just sneak up behind someone to do that. So not being able to like move around like easily on that makes it really difficult. So something that you might want to add is adding the sensitivity, turn on maybe the sensitivity up higher for your vehicles, so you can just, you know, have a better turn ratio than you normally would have, having, you know, maybe a slower sensitivity on like infantry class. That's just kind of something I've kind of noticed. Another thing though I do really like about this tank is the ability to lay mines, and it's something I think the more actually considering that after this game, of the ability just to be able to lay mines, it's just something that like I really like doing. I really like laying mines because there's a lot of places on every map where you can easily lay them, and that's, the laying the mines is the best thing out of anything to take out any type of vehicle. It's just an easy kill, instant. There's no battle. You're nowhere near it. There's so many good things about doing it. The problem is you just got to lay it in a good spot and make sure that that spot is gonna, you know, do the job. So, I mean, even if he only hits with one of the mines, he's half hurt. I mean, it's still, you know, it's still really, it's really like psychological, if you want to say it like that. I watched so many people who get hit by mines, and they just panic, and they get hit by one of them, and they start just pushing really hard. They want to get as far away as they can from it, and it's just like, yeah. So here I am, just trying to hold off D, and this is where I don't like this vehicle, because getting on these points where I'm on the flag trying to defend it, this is where I feel like the vehicle gets hurt the most. As you can see, it's kind of the whole game, I kind of do a lot of looping around, not very much on the flag, and that's really how I don't like to play. Because I find a lot of situations where I'm just like, man, if we can just like, you know, get onto the flag and do something with the flag, at least be, I don't know, closer in its vicinity where I'm able to control it better. That's something more that I like doing. Um, but when I feel like I can't, when I feel like I can't get on the flag at all, when I need to get on the flag, that's when I'm it makes it really frustrating because I feel like this is a guaranteed death when I'm on the flag with this vehicle. So as you can see there, I get I get cut off. I've had that happen to me once before, but I've able to kind of like get away with it. And I think I was in another tank. I feel like the heights of his tank, he like nicked me on the very top, and he was able to get me. So that's happened to me before, where I just get into that. I was thinking about taking him out earlier, but um, when I saw them there, but I thought, you know, I got distracted by the other guy and I missed them, and yeah, it all kind of fell apart there. So, but yeah, like I said, I really don't like being stuck in a situation with the tank because I feel like here's another situation here. He's behind me. I can't turn around. I have to turn around really fast, and you know, and that's the thing. If you have a slow, I think my turn ratio is it's not the default, but it's a little bit higher than that, and I just know that, you know, there's a lot of situations you can caught in like that. So that's my one thing about this, is that I feel like I can't, when I want to, I can't just get onto the I can't just get onto a flag and try to hold off that flag if I really need to hold on that flag. So you know, it's nice. I do a lot of circling on the flag too, to try to control the flag if my teammates are on it. But if I need to capture a flag, I want to be on it. And sometimes I feel like I'm sitting duck on this thing. So it's one disadvantage that I see about this. So, but yeah, I'm over here on G to kind of hold off G. I know if I pull off over here, usually they'll spawn right about there, and so they'll run. They're a little bit lower down in that like creek area, or whatever, where the rocks are at down there, and they're able just to run up there. So yeah, now I'm getting blasted from some other guys. So I'm just gonna loop around because I'm not sure where this dude's at. Sneak up on him behind here. Nice thing is I have that emergency heal, so that is really nice to be able to have that. That's one really nice thing about this tank, is to be able to have the emergency heal. Unlike the light armor tank that has the one we can lay mines on, you don't have an emergency heal on that one. I do like using that one a lot, but it's advantage of having it on this. So you can lay mines as well here on too, but you have emergency here as well. So, or emergency heal. So yeah, now I'm able to snipe that guy right out. I know there's another player out here. He just kind of like disappeared. I don't know where he went. So I start rolling around over here, and then he just comes right back around at the right time. And I just take him out. So, you know, it can be. I mean, it's not like it can't be done, but like those are only two guys that I was going back and forth on. If I'm dealing with a bunch of players on a very hot zone, there's no way I'm gonna get away with that. They're gonna. One player could take his AT rocket gun and start blasting me and take me out. You know, I know on a heavy tank I don't have that issue, but on a light tank or an artillery truck, I'm gonna have problems. So even with the emergency heal, so something I don't like, and I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are really good at it and they can handle it a lot better than I can. I'm sure with more playing with it, I get better at it, and using the gun in the front that I have here, which I've hardly used at all, and I don't think you can use it barely at all this whole game. Like getting better at using stuff like that. And I'm sure that's what makes a lot of people really good at this, because they know how to utilize that better. So now I'm gonna rotate back around. So again, it's really nice, the speed on this thing. Like that take forever to do what I'm doing right now, and I'm able just to roll up here fairly easy. Teammates are taking C, or no, they're taking C, right? Yeah, they're taking C. They should be around here though, because they're not all going to be spawning on here. So I do have a point where I'm able to. Again, they're all right there. Get another easy kill. You know, if your teammates are holding that, if your teammates are on C and you're up here, you can really control it. Unfortunately, there I miss on that part, and I see another guy coming up. I'm not going to. I don't want to challenge this. Like I said, my confidence on this is not very high because I haven't used it a lot, so I don't really know where to stretch the limits, or you know, where I feel comfortable at with this vehicle. Surprisingly as it is, this game's been out since October, and we're in March now, and I've hardly used this vehicle. It's kind of how I'll do certain things. There's so many in the games that I just don't like get into till like a lot, like way later. So But yeah, it does give me an opportunity to creep up here and get some payback on this one guy who took me out. If it is the same guy or not, but yeah, it's definitely figured that since I'm here, I might as well take this guy out while I'm here. And so usually what I'll do when I'm over here is I will lay some mines. So if there's one place I do like laying mines, it's just right up here in the front. It's kind of the most obvious one to lay mines at. But yeah, I'm gonna lay them right here. I don't want to challenge over here at A. Like I said, I don't feel very comfortable in some of these areas where I feel like I'm gonna get challenged a lot by a lot of people. And I'm more familiar with G to defense. That's why I did over there. On A, a little less. Um, so I didn't really want to challenge over there. I wanted to go push over to B. One thing that does happen a lot to me on this vehicle is a lot of this. Another downfall of the vehicle is getting stuck in situations like this. This happens so much to me when I've used it, and to other people who've used it. I've seen a lot of people abandon their vehicle because they get stuck in this area. What I found out is one really easy way to get out of it is just shoot your gun. So I got stuck there, but the moment I shot my gun, it like moves my vehicle around. So I was able to get out of that situation there, but that happens a lot to me with the vehicle. Another downfall of the vehicle is you so easily can get stuck. But having that little bit of movement is really nice too. As you can see there, my mines get thrown, blow up a tank or something. And so, yeah, just laying them right there. That's one place you instantly want to look at is when you're driving a tank. You want to watch that spot right there. This is an easy place to lay your mines at, especially on that side. On the other side, it's a little different if you're spawning on blue base. But for the red side, right over there, it's pretty easy place to do it. So yeah, I'm rolling up here, getting able to take them out. Really, it's such a like being able to get those quick, you know, to defend your flag, run up really quick and kill that one or two guys that are there, trying to run across the base, and you're not losing really that much of time from traveling over there to traveling back. It's not too bad. It's not, you know, it's something that this vehicle I really like about this vehicle. Be able to get those, especially on those really large maps, because speed is so important. That's what I've been noticing a lot of like maps of Sinai. Like I've said before that Sinai is like my most difficult map to play on. I've noticed a lot lately just how to like trying to change my play style on there and like utilizing vehicles more and just grabbing a vehicle, you know, like a you know, armored truck or just one of the, you know, motorcycles or whatever, and just use that to just move around the map better, or get from point A to, you know, point, you know, F or wherever I need to go as quick as possible. Yeah, it's just I utilize it so much more. So the speed is just it's so helpful. So now I'm over here, and I saw a sniper. I wanted to take him out. And then of course I kind of missed this guy, and then I start getting blasted because I missed him. So it's kind of the rare times where I'm missing infantry right there. But so at the end here, I'm just gonna take this guy out really quick. But I'm getting blasted from behind. So the nice thing I have that little bit of that emergency heal, so it makes me does feel a little confident, and the speed is low too. Like I know if I can just get away from his line of sight, I'm good. I do make a little risky play though, going down there. That's like I feel like the worst place to drive this vehicle at down there. I see tanks and light tanks, any type of tanks just get stuck down there, and they have better traction than this thing. So another thing I like about the vehicle is that ability just to be able to sneak up and those quick kills like that. Like like I said, I've seen people do some crazy stuff with this thing. So yeah, I can totally see like just being able to just move so quickly off of that, and being confident to do that. And just knowing your vehicle, knowing what you can do with it, and just when you play with it a lot, you just get these things where you just know your limits. It's nothing you can really tell someone how to play or how to do. You gotta try it out yourself, and then you get your comfort zone with it, and you begin to get confident with it. You begin to realize the vehicle, what normal vehicle damage is gonna do if you get attacked by it, or AT rockets, or how people play against it. It's very different. When I play with light tanks, or it's light tanks and heavy tanks, I've noticed big time. A lot of people are so much more confident attacking me when I'm in my light tank. just because they know the armor's lower and they know they can take it out easier than taking out a heavy tank. So when it's with a heavy tank, I watch a lot of people they don't want to challenge a lot more. You know, a lot of people want to run away from it. You know, so I've noticed that like instantly. So it's just you know, it's just picking up those little things how people play. You know, and understanding that, getting a feel for, you know, how it's going to be like when I'm using this specific, you know, vehicle. So yeah. So I was able to take out a nice. I love taking out those kills, getting those kills when you take out a plane. I don't know. I find those just one of the most satisfying kills in like the whole game. It's just being able to take out those planes when they're in the air. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try back over here by F. I'm gonna try to blow up the house like this. So the one thing I hate when I'm an infantry player is when these houses are blown up. But it's the one thing that's like necessary when you're using a vehicle. It's like to take out all the walls and everything like that. So make it as clear as possible so you can look around and see. Again here, driving this thing was a little bit of a pain. I didn't want to necessarily drive. I wanted to drive around the house there. I was trying to take a left turn. I hit that edge there and it threw me off. So yeah, some of the drive on this can be, it's just like, it's the speed on it, but here I go again, I get stuck, and now I'm getting blasted, and I can't see where he's at. Wait for him to shoot again, now I see him. And here's this nice thing about this vehicle though, is this ability where it rolls like that. Bam, it just rolled me right back, and I could feel it moving me back too, and I was letting it because I wanted to move back as well, but it, you know, off a tank, I had to force it, I had to keep driving to do that. And yeah, they're in that situation. I'm able to let it just drive back. It drives me behind, you know, behind a rock. He pushes. I know he's gonna push, and I'm able to just go out there and be killed quickly. So I mean, that was like perfect right there off of that situation. That turned out like really bad because I got stuck on that area there, and it's just like, yeah. So God, I saw two sides of the moving the vehicle, the pros and the cons right there in one situation. So I do know right when here on F, they're usually gonna spawn right up here. It's like my first place where I look, or they'll spawn onto the right as well too. So yeah, it's usually where I'm looking at. As you can see there, I completely missed on that one. So I'm just like, and I see them shooting at me here, so I just dip. So as you can see, like I said, either they spawn right there at the front, or they're spawn there to the right. And now that there's like 3 or 4 guys, and that one dude got into the that artillery cannon, I didn't want to deal with that thing. That will do some real damage on you really quick. So I just moved around, start using the speed on this thing. As well too, I mean the speed's really good, but you do want to be a little bit careful not to go into one single direction on any vehicle or anything. A little bit of zigzagging does not hurt, and it's actually helpful. If not, you're just running one line of direction, anyone can lead you with any type of shot and take you out. It's like you're giving the enemy player insight on a few seconds in the future off of what you're gonna do by going down one straight line. So anyone who wants to lead you a little bit will be able to take you out. So now I'm just gonna roll back around. I got shot again, but I mean, it's one of those things now, like looking in hindsight, I could probably be more aggressive on. I could use an emergency here really quick and not roll around. I could take him out instantly. I was pretty really conservative. Like I said, I want to, it's like first time ever in a game, I think, where I started off just using this vehicle, or maybe like second time or something like that. And I actually like wanted to use it in the game and like just try it out and really get a better feel for it. So that's what I was trying to do. So I'd play pretty conservative because I didn't want to die with it instantly. You know, as you can see, I had gotten taken out earlier from kind of an unfortunate situation, so I wanted to use it longer and prolong it more. So now I'm gonna roll back out here. They kind of made a little bit of a push here, and now they have more territories than we have. So I want to now kind of, yeah, now I'm gonna be a little more aggressive with it. So I'm gonna roll up here. I'm getting more of that feel for it. I'm just being able to roll up behind people and do that quick shot right there. I do know they like to creep around, being either one of those bottom part of the towers there. But I am a sitting duck. I do know that they're gonna spawn, you know, behind me. So like I'm getting shot at immediately right now. So I know that firsthand what's gonna happen. So you know I can sit there and you can keep pushing it. Some people may push it. It might be better at the truck than I am. I'm still a little, you know, noobish on it, so I kind of like didn't want to challenge that. I figured I'd just loop back around. You know, I at least did enough damage to stop the people coming out from the front, but you know, there's more right there. If I would have stuck around there, those were two. I think there's three of them. Yeah, there's three assault classes there, or two or three. I'm not sure, but yeah, that would have been. They for sure would have taken me out. So. Now I'm getting blasted here. I'm trying to move out again. I was trying to move backwards. I couldn't move backwards. This is one that's this very forward-moving vehicle. Don't want to try moving backwards. It's way worse. I mean, it moves worse moving backwards than the heavy tank. But its advantage of the heavy tank is it at least can turn around when it's not moving and shoot the enemy player. The heavy tank you can't do that at all. I mean, if you're in some really dire situations, you can. If you don't have a gunner on the back, you can, you know, jump. I've done this before. I've just jumped in the back of the turret and shot the guy. You can do that too. Sometimes I'll just jump out of the vehicle as well, just to do that. But yeah. So as you can see, I get taken out. Unfortunately, that guy had a little bit enough on his grenade to kill me. And he unfortunately took me out on that situation there. So this is kind of funny here too. I hear the tank, and I figured he'd be a little more. I knew he was gonna be looking down that line of path. So I'm just trying to sneak up behind him and do what I always do, which is lay a grenade, a landmine, throw a grenade, and then my light grenade, and throw my heavy tank grenade. I could take him out, but he was already hurt, I guess, so he ran over that grenade. That mine I just laid right there, and I took him out. So, but because normally. A lot of the tanks will be looking down. They're looking because they expect someone to be down in there. That's the reason why earlier when I left, because I figured that someone might go in there or something like that. It's such a such a pain when you're in a vehicle trying to take them out when they're in there. So that's why I really don't feel comfortable capping that with a vehicle. So yeah. And then yeah, another funny situation. And that guy like out of nowhere, I knew he was gonna be somewhere. And that's the one spot I do like when all the walls are down. I like hiding in that one corner there because it's so dark no one can see you. Or those corners in that room right there to my left. Yeah, because it's so dark you can never see. And even though it's like kind of obvious now of anyone who's played the game a lot to know that you're gonna be in one of those spots, it's still so dark even knowing someone's gonna be there. So like your best bet is like throwing grenades in there first or something like maybe stick a dynamite or something. Just to kind of get a better feel of knowing maybe exactly more weakening him more wherever the individual may be in that area, because I'm like I know instantly like someone's gonna be there if all of the walls are down. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. I wanted just to do kind of this a little bit of a comparison, not too much. Like I said, I'm still learning on this whole artillery truck and getting a better feel for it. I know a lot of people really like it, and I wanted to like try it out more because there's a lot of good advantages and stuff with it, so I kind of want to get a better feel for it. So yeah, that was basically it. It was a pretty good game using it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out more, maybe on this map more, and Sinai too, and maybe I don't know, any other larger maps that might be out there that I might want to consider it to try it out on. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys again later. Peace.